You have your unique song. This doesn't mean you have to stand out in a way that disrupts others, but how could you compromise yourself? There's 8 billion people on this planet, yes, but not two are alike.
Here is the secret to stand out in a crowd from Rabbi Simon Jacobson. Today's video was made possible at Mulliganbrothers.com, where the sale is on in the link in the description for the Memento Mori posters. Posters that remind you, you will one day, in fact, die. It's a very powerful tool. And also the Not a Journal, even more powerful tool if you ask me, a tool that will actually get stuff done. It's a success journal that actually leads to success, linked down below. But before that, how do you stand out in a crowd? You've done a video called "Do This to Stand Out in a Crowd," but how do you stand out? Like, we've said this, 8 billion people, so it's a lot of people. How do you stand out?
Okay, so how do you stand out in a crowd, and how do you become a nonconformist? Because the tendency for all of us is to be conformists. That's how it is. We don't like to stand out. I mean, everyone likes to say I have a unique flair or a unique style, but not too much. You don't want to be a pariah. You don't want to be laughed at and mocked at. From our childhood, we've been trained, you conform. You have to do this to conform, to fit in. The tendency and the temptation to do that is understandable. It comes down to fear as well. Fear of being different, fear of being laughed at, fear of being dismissed. But at the same time, you don't want to lose your individuality. So it comes down to if that individual, unique you has been cultivated or not. In a very healthy home, parents will obviously want their children to follow certain guidelines. You don't cross the street by yourself. You don't do certain things. You don't stick your fingers into an electric outlet. I'm talking about a baby. But they also want to cultivate the individuality of the child. No two children are alike. But we live in a society, and I think, again, through industrialization and technology, is only contributing to the conforming. You have to fit in a certain way. So to me, it goes back to the theme of who are you and what are you like? I ask people, who are you? They give me their business card. And I say, that's what you do. That's not who you are. And they say, what should I say? I've been doing it so long, what I do has become who I am. Do you hear that? What I do has become who I am. It should be the other way around. Who you are should define what you do. But often our jobs, our work, our responsibilities, expectations of others shape and define us. This is the work I do. I try to help people free themselves from those forces. You have something unique to contribute. You have your unique song. This doesn't mean you have to stand out in a way that disrupts others, but how could you compromise yourself? So it's really helping people build the confidence in what they can do unique. There's 8 billion people on this planet, yes, but not two are alike. They say when Mozart presented his composition of music, one of his masterpieces, to the Archduke of Austria. So the Archduke thought he was a connoisseur of music. So he says to Mozart, beautiful, but far too many notes. You see, he's telling him far too many notes. Like, it's like someone coming into a building and telling the architect, too many rooms in this building. And Mozart purportedly responded, he says, yes, Your Majesty, but not one more than necessary. Every note is necessary. And I think it's important to realize that every human being, it doesn't matter how many people out there, you have to know that you are unique and there's something you can contribute that only you can contribute. I think one of these storybooks they tell, this guy walking on the beach and he sees all these clams that have washed on the beach and he's throwing back in the water. He doesn't want them to dry up and die. So someone says to him, do you know how many clams there are out there? You think it matters that you throw a few back into the water? He says, to this clam it matters. No, forget it, look at it, it's not a numbers game. This clam, I've saved its life. Life is not quantifiable by numbers. It's not a numbers game. Any person you help, that person has been changed forever. It doesn't matter if there's another billion people or thousands of people. And we have to not lose sight of that. Look, the fact is we live in a world of numbers, in a world of crunching numbers, statistics, analytics, metrics, and you can sometimes lose sight. I know this, we do this work, you start, okay, you have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. But they're hundreds of thousands of individuals. Each one is their own life. They're not just in a category. But marketing, we need the demographic. Who are they? The target audience. So I understand the value of that, but don't let that become the way you define human beings. A human being is a unique soul. Everyone is individual. Everyone who has ever given birth to children knows that's your child. I remember once a journalist was in my grandmother's house. I was there. I was a kid, and my grandmother had 9 children. My mother's the oldest of 9. So the journalist was a woman journalist, and she's writing an article. She was a real feminist. And she says to my grandmother, how do you have 9 children? How do you divide your love 9 parts? How could you manage that? So my grandmother, I remember, said to her, you're not married, are you? You have no children. She said, right. I see from your question, you're asking, you don't even know what it is. Let me explain to you. Love is not like a birthday cake, where you can only divide it into so many parts. Love is infinite. And my grandmother gave a beautiful example. She said, love is like the sun, and it's reflected in every drop of water, just like in the Pacific Ocean. Every drop has the whole sun in it. My whole love goes to each child. And I remember that woman was visibly moved. So that's the love. It's not 9, it could be 90. It's not a numbers game. The entire sun is reflected in every drop of water. So my full love is in every child in its own way. So that's something that needs to be, I guess, emphasized in our commoditized, fetishized world.
Again, Rabbi Simon Jacobson has hit us with so many inspirational, motivational, educational, philosophical teachings and messages, and there's a ton more to come. So if it sounds like something you're interested in, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell, and also go follow Simon Jacobson on his socials down below. We have two more full Spotify episodes to come out as well. For me, standing out in a crowd, I think this is a great video to talk exactly about that. So thank you to him. And I just want to say thank you to you guys. The mission is to inspire as many people as possible, and everyone who subscribed, shared the videos and all that kind of stuff, thank you so much. If you bought the t-shirts and all of that, thank you. There is a sale on to get ready for 2024 with the link in the description where you can get the Memento Mori posters that remind you you're going to die. That's my poster right there. It's 30 years, and I cross off a little box every week. And it reminds me, time is precious, and I better get my butt moving every single day, and I live with passion and purpose. So they're on sale right now, and the frames are included in the sale. They make great gifts for Christmas, so go check them out. And also the success journal that actually helps you get success and achieve your goals. None of the fluff that we've been receiving recently with the journals. That's why it's ironically named the Not a Journal, but it is a success journal for people who want to kill it. It's linked down below. Thank you for all the feedback on this. Unbelievable that thousands of you guys have got these now and you're actually using them in your everyday life. I cannot thank you guys enough. Link in the description. Have a blessed and productive day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.